gas station that goes 24 hours. It's a late night shift, and it's typically the gas station where you don't see much traffic after midnight. Most nights are pretty quiet. The only noise is the vibration of the refrigerators and the buzzing of the fluorescent lights above. Around 1:30 a.m. one night, a man walked in. He was wearing a heavy coat, even though it was pretty warm outside. He didn't say anything right as he walked in. He just kind of stared at me. So I gave him the usual customer service smile and I said, "Can I help you with anything?" And he just kept staring, and after a really long minute, he finally walked up to the counter and he placed down a single dollar bill. It was soaked, not damp, literally soaked, like he just took it out of water and placed it on the counter. His hands were very cold when our hands kind of brushed each other. And then he looked at me and he said, "Don't let her in." And I said, "What?" And before he came and respond, he was already walking out of the door. So after that, I got a little bit spooked, so I went and I locked the gas station door, and I watched him through the security cameras walk across the parking lot, just across the road kind of, and he just stood there in the dark. And almost immediately after, a woman, she pulled up into the gas station, and she came running, banging on the glass to let her in. She was pretty frantic. She was just kind of yelling, saying, "My car broke down, I need to come in, I need to call somebody." So my hand went on the lock, I looked down at the monitor, and I noticed that the man was gone, but you could still see his wet footprints in the parking lot, and they were just kind of behind where she was standing. And so I just kind of froze and I stared at her a little longer, remembering what he said to me. And something about the way she smiled in between her words, it just didn't feel right. The smile was not meeting up with her eyes. So I just kind of shook my head and I said, "I'm so sorry, I can call roadside assistance, they can come and help you." And as soon as I said that, her entire demeanor just dropped. She went flat. She just turned back around and went right back to her car. And I watched her in the monitor, her headlights turned, she went down the road. Something else I noticed in the camera was the wet footprints from the man were gone. There's one set left when I looked down just outside of the door, and there's one set of wet footprints right where the lady was standing. They were facing in. So that's the end of this story. Now it kind of leaves you up for guessing. So from my point of view and my clarification is, it means that the man in the beginning was just a warning and he wasn't the initial threat, but the woman who came was the threat. There's like something supernatural or something attached to her almost that was leaving the wet footprints, because she wasn't wet herself, but she left the wet footprints. And so it implies that when she left, whatever was attached to her did not leave and could somewhat be looking for a way into the gas station.